Welcome! Today we're going to talk about the Garter and Stockinette stitches. So this is level 1 and those are the basics texture that we can see. So when you knit, there are two basic moves, knit and purl. And we explained previously that the purl is essentially an inverted knit. So now the different textures and effects that you do when you knit, the different stitches and styles, are coming from combinations or variations around those two ones. So the two main ones are the Garter and the Stockinette. I have started a little sample and I'm gonna go through that to show you how it's made. Here on one side, you can see that's the Garter stitches. It's made of a series of little bumps. It's a little wavy, foamy kind of look. On this side, though, it's a series of V-shaped stitches here, very flat, which is called the Stockinette. So the way it's done here, it's an alternance of the two stitches. We're going to talk first about how it's happening in the flat, when you knit in the flat. So when you'd want to do the Stockinette stitches, knitting in the flat, what is happening is you're going to knit on one side and purl on the other. When you want to do the Garter style, you're gonna knit on one side and knit on the other side. So I'm gonna show you this row here. We're gonna start, this is my front side, this is the right side. So when you knit in the flat, keep in mind that you're going back and forth, and what is happening on the wrong side, or the back of your work essentially, is actually the inverted of what you're gonna see on the right side. So here we are going to knit those 10 because we want to have these V-shaped stitches to continue all the way. And we knit and we have here we have 10. And we continue to have these Stockinette stitches as a series of V stitches in continuum. Now here, if you look and you expand, you're gonna see that we alternate the V and the bumps. So here we have a little bump, so we're gonna do the knit again. Here we knit the 10 and we are on the right side. On the right side, what you see, what you do is what you get. On the wrong side, though, we're gonna turn the work around here. On the wrong side, what you get here is the exact same thing, because you alternate. So the Garter is like still this effect of being pretty foamy, wavy series of bump, and if you expand, you're gonna see the alternance of the bumps and the V. Here on this side, remember this is our Stockinette on the right side, and here on the wrong side, on the back of the work, it's a reversed Stockinette, meaning that this is a very tight way of having those little bumps one after the other. That's a different style. Which means that the Garter, when you knit in the flat, the Garter stitch is reversible because you have the same effect on both sides. The Stockinette is not. You have two very different styles and effect and texture on the two sides. So here we are on the wrong side. So what do we need to do? We said we need to alternate when we do now on this side the Garter. So we keep on knitting because we want a little bump on the other side. So we are going to knit those ones. Knit. Oops. We knit. We knit. So this is how we do them we have the 10. We have the 10 and we have the garter on the two sides, you know. This is a knit. We have the V on this side that makes a bump on the other side. Now here, we want a V. So to get a V on the right side, we need to make a bump on the wrong side. So we're gonna purl. And we are going to purl those 10 stitches here. Okay, and that is how you do it when you knit in the flat. So essentially, when you knit in the flat and you knit on both sides, so here you knit on both sides all the time, back and forth, okay, you get the garter. If you knit on one side and you purl on the other, you get the stockinette. So depending on which side you're looking at, okay, and the effect you desire, if you want the stockinette, you're essentially going to knit the odd numbered rows. It's going to be on your front. And you're going to purl on the even numbered rows most of the time. But that's just, the principle is, if you alternate, you get this effect of very, you know, flat V-shaped stitches. The garter is the other way. Now, an additional comment here, and I'm going to show you on a sample. When you knit in the round on circular, you don't go back and forth. You don't have a wrong and a right side. So in that case, when you knit all the way, like here, when you knit all the way, row after row, you know, in circular, you don't go forward, you don't have a wrong side. So you knit all the time to make the stockinette, one after the other. To make the garter, though, here, that we have at the bottom, to have this little, you know, foamy, bumpy texture, in that case, you need to do the alternance. So you knit one row and then you purl the other one, and so forth. Because what you see is what you get for real when you knit in circular. There is no trick to play on the right side and wrong side and going back and forth. It's only in continuum in one way. That's the main difference here to do the stitches. But now they look exactly the same. You have the V-shaped, you have the foamy effect of the stockinette and the garter, and here the same, the V-neck and the stockinette. So those two are the same effect, but you have to apply different techniques and combinations to get those results, depending on whether you knit in circular or you knit in the flat. You will notice just a little side item that you can use circular needles even for knitting in the flat. There is no issue with that. You just have the cables and you just take one needle at a time and you alternate those. That's a quick note here. There will be an article on the blog about the difference between circular and flat knitting, depending on, you know, the type of work and the project that you do. But this is how it looks. More combinations and variations in the next video, but those two are the basics that you can work on for now. Enjoy your knitting. Hope it was useful and see you later.